This week's portion, Mishpatim, continues the giving of the law to the people of Israel 3 months after they left the land of Egypt. Last week's portion, Yitro, highlighted the so-called 10 Commandments, which serve as the religious foundation of our people. And the portion Mishpatim highlights in great detail all the law that would govern how the Israelites were to relate to one another. And so that causes us to ask this broader, more general question: what is it about the idea of freedom that leads to the giving of law? In other words, the people were slaves in Egypt for over 200 years. They were subject to the oppression and persecution by the Egyptians in the land of Egypt. Now they are able to celebrate being free. And what is the pinnacle of that celebration? The experience at Mount Sinai, in which they heard God's voice. And that voice is telling them not to celebrate being free, but rather how to legislate their lives. That instead of being in bondage to the Egyptian taskmasters and to Pharaoh, now they feel that freedom means being able to understand the eternal religious values by which they should live their lives. In other words, freedom doesn't mean anarchy. Freedom doesn't mean the ability to do whatever you want at the risk of harming somebody else. Freedom isn't narcissism. Freedom means the ability to understand that there are deep, eternal, profound moral and ethical principles that we are able to understand and by which we are able to lead our lives. Nobody else can prevent us from achieving those religious aims. We, being free, are able to understand our relationship to God and are able to live moral, religious lives. Shabbat Shalom.